Good afternoon. How are you? This is Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher. It is Saturday, September 24th. This is Floss Tube Take 3. So the first time I tried this, something happened and my video stopped, and then I had to start it again, and then the clip I added wouldn't show. You could hear my voice, but you couldn't see me. So I scrapped it, and then I started a second one, and my daughter came over with her boyfriend for a little bit. He is a retired Marine and, well, honorably discharged Marine, and he just had a knee replacement done. So we talked a little while, and then, yeah, so this is take 3. So I hope all of you are doing well. My thoughts are with those of you in the maritime provinces in Canada, with Fiona bearing down on you, Hurricane Fiona, and those of you in Florida watching for what Hurricane Ian's going to do. And I know there's another weather system coming off the coast of Africa, so it looks like hurricane season is well engaged. So what's been up? I think the title of this video was finish a Statehood Splendor stitch, finishing that, and life update, and we'll do the giveaway from 2 weeks ago. I honestly don't have a lot to show you. As I keep saying, with school, my stitching time is limited. So, you know, I have been stitching some. I've been pretty much monogamously, got to make sure you say that correctly, stitching on Christmas List. Okay, so that's this one by Silver Creek Samplers, and when we were together 2 weeks ago, I had gotten to the base of the gingerbread men and the stockings. And I do apologize, I did not take it out of the Q-snap because I'm just in the zone and I didn't want to do that. So you can see I've gotten a little bit further. I did Time for Bed with the clock and angels singing and the stars and the sparklies, and then I'm working on the angel. The angel's going to have a lot of color changing, so I really didn't want to undo it and do it again, undo the snap. So that's where I am. I'm flying solo this weekend. My husband and grandson are Cub Scout camping, so this will most likely get worked on this evening. Unless I just stay in my sewing room and sew. I don't know. So, yeah, I try to get at least an hour done a night. I don't know how many of you were MASH fans in the 70s when I was a teenager. MASH was a big thing. And one of the, it's called Me TV. I don't know if you have it, but it's memorable entertainment television. In other words, they recycle all the old shows, and MASH is on from 7 to 8, and so that's when I sit and stitch. So, you know, get supper cleaned up, grate a little bit if I have to, and then that's when I stitch. So I have been working on this, a little bit more to go. But the big exciting news is that I finished my first Statehood Splendor. And it was Ohio. And for those of you that are new, the Statehood Splendor series, I'll show you Ohio, is a series of patterns done by Thread Milk Designs. And she should have, I believe she just released like 10 of them. So if they're not all out, they will be soon. But I decided I was going to do at least the ones of the states where I have lived. And I moved quite a bit growing up. My father worked for General Electric, and so we moved about every 2-3 years. And so when I saw these, being the social studies, you know, geography geek that I am, I decided to make them. So I bought Ohio, because that's where I was born. And I decided that the states I lived in, I would do the abbreviations in gold. And looking at this, I can see I forgot something. I forgot the design in the middle of the O. But here it is. I am so pumped. So I want you to tell me, I mean, I know the lighting in here is bad, and I know it's not the best look, but I chose to do the red. I chose Buckeye Scarlet, which is not called for. The called for is Gentle Arts Country Redwood, and it was a little too orange. So I chose Buckeye Scarlet, which to me seemed appropriate because it is Ohio, and Ohio is the Buckeye State. And the gold I chose is Honeycomb from Classic Colorworks. So, you know, I'm excited. I mean, you can see the variation in the threads as the threads move, the variegation in the colors. But I don't know if Honeycomb is going to be dark enough. So we'll see. Maybe if I get that design down in the middle of the O, it'll change things. But I'm excited. And at some point, this will be a pillow. I've never made a pillow out of cross stitch, so that's going to be an adventure. So I need to obviously go back and put that one motif in the O, but that won't take long. The next one I think I'm going to do is Vermont. Now, I have never lived in Vermont, but my sister does, and I've been to Vermont quite a few times. And I'm going to stitch this one in memory of my nephew. My nephew just passed away 3 or 4 weeks ago, unexpectedly. He was 36 or 37. He passed away on a Friday night, and his birthday was the following Monday. So it was very unexpected. But anyway. So I'm going to stitch this one in his memory. And I've been to Vermont quite a few times. I always used to tease my sister that, you know, she'd always say something about the moose, and every time I went up there, I never saw a moose. Until one time, the last time I was up there with my husband, I saw a little moose face peeking out of the woods along the side of the road. So I called her and I said, okay, there's one moose. One moose in Vermont. But I did have something exciting happen in Vermont one time. When I was in high school and my family and I were up there, my dad decided that we should swing by the Von Trapp family lodge in Stowe, Vermont. Because, you know, Sound of Music was always one of my favorite movies, and I'd been in the play 3 times. And so we stopped, and we were getting out of the car, and my one stepsister, you know, she bolted off for the gift shop. And she came back down screaming, Nancy, Nancy, Nancy. And I'm like, what is the... She goes, Maria's in there. And I'm like, what? And she goes, no, I mean it. Maria, the Maria is in there. So I hoofed it up to the gift shop, and I walked in, and sure enough, there, sitting in the gift shop, was Maria Von Trapp. The Maria Von Trapp. You know, if the word fangirl existed in 1979, I was doing it. So I bought a copy of a book that she had written, and she signed it, and we talked, and she was the kindest woman that, you know, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So yeah, I got to meet Maria Von Trapp. It was like totally cool. It's one of those things that I will never forget. So yeah, so that's going to be my next one. I am stitching these on 24 count rain barrel. I do not know the manufacturer. I'd have to go searching for that. And eventually I will have all the ones that I have lived in and all the ones that I have visited. I'm trying to decide if driving through a state counts as visiting. Because, you know, sometimes you do stop and you do see things, but, or as visiting that you've actually stayed there a while. I don't know. If I could count just the ones that I have been in, then I would have, between the ones I lived in and the ones I've just been in or through, that would be like 23 states. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't have enough lifetime left to do all the projects I want to do, so we'll see. So that's really the only stitching that I have done. I did spend last weekend working on the Prairie Meadow quilt. It's available. Information about that is available at Lori Holt's blog, Be in My Bonnet. And it's an applique quilt. And she does a method which I had done a long time ago, where you use interfacing. It's a sew-in interfacing, and you sew it to the right side of the fabric, and then you flip it over, and you cut a little slit in the back, and you flip it, and you have your piece. And you can either machine applique this down or hand applique this down. So I'm working on that. I have all my pieces cut. I don't have them all formed yet, but I have all my pieces cut. And the one thing I did purchase was what's called a design board, and these are 18 inches square, because the block base is huge on these. I think they end up being 16 inches. So to be able to lay out the blocks, I needed a bigger design board. So I did get a couple of those. And to help with pressing, I did buy a 13-inch square wool mat to fit on top of my TV tray next to my sewing machine. So I made those purchases, and I also had to get some more, it's glue by Sue Daly. So you lay all your pieces out, and then you can like put little dots of glue to hold them. And so I had a bottle of this, and it had separated. And no matter what I did, I even put it in like a cup of warm water, and it didn't go back together. So I had to get some more. But then I was looking on YouTube, and I found a video, and a woman used Elmer's. And I'm like, okay, it's washable. The other stuff is washable, but this is a heck of a lot cheaper. So I thought, okay, I'll try it. So that's on my long-term plan here, is to try this. And then I bought an extra bottle and some micro tip applicators. You know, this I can refill. You can get a big jug of glue at Michael's or something, and I can refill it. So that's on my long-term plan. Ooh, sorry about that. It's freezing in here. You know, living in Pennsylvania, yesterday I'm running around in a t-shirt and capris, and today I'm in long sleeves and jeans. And I'm about ready to go turn on the heat because it's chilly in here. It's only 67 outside, but the house is cold. So, yeah. Other purchases that have come since I saw you last, because they were on back order or whatever. Piece of cardboard. I hemmed and hawed about this one. Wasn't sure. Okay, yeah, no, maybe. Well, yeah, okay, let's do it. No. I finally dove in, and I bought Autumn Rules by Primrose Cottage. Autumn is my favorite time of the year. And, you know, apples and pumpkins and leaves that turn color. It's just my favorite time. So I had to have this. And speaking of pumpkins, people, are you into pumpkin spice or what? You know, pumpkin spice season is in full swing. I have my pumpkin spice creamer. I bought my Dunkin' pumpkin spice coffee pods, and I also found today at the grocery store Dunkin' Pumpkin Spice Graham Goldfish. And these things are moreish, meaning that you want more and more and more and more. Yes, pumpkin spice graham goldfish. They are awesome. So anyway, this one is definitely on my list. I love the deep, rich colors. And it says the called for is vintage country mocha, 25 count. I have something in my stash that would probably do just as well. So one of these days I'm going to lay out the flosses and see what we can do, and I will get her started. Another one I fell in love with, being the social studies teacher, history geek that I am, is called Worn American Flag. This reminded me of the Star Spangled Banner, which is in the Smithsonian Institution. I can say monogamously, but I can't say Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. And it is the flag that hung over Fort Mchenry in 1814. And the flag in Fort Mchenry, okay, here's your lesson for the day. The flag at Fort McHenry, when it was taken down, and people, they knew that it was a significant event, and they knew it was special, and people actually cut pieces out of it as souvenirs. But then somewhere along the line, and I don't know how, but it got into the hands of the Smithsonian, and for years it was hung from the ceiling on a wall. Well, as museum curation practices have changed, they took it down and they did some restoration on it, and now it lays flat in a temperature controlled area, not flat, but flat, and in a temperature controlled room, and the lights are dimmed so that the fabrics don't fade any more than they have. But the stories that flag could tell. So this just reminded me of the Star Spangled Banner. Now, obviously it's not, because it does have 50 stars on it. But I just thought it was cool. Now, it doesn't have a called for fabric, at least I'm not seeing it. It says the American flag can be stitched on any fabric you want. The fabric will show around the stitched parts of the pattern. But I just thought it was cool. So it's Worn American Flag by Stitching Jewels Design. So I just thought that was cool. And it's all DMC. So that's on my list. And some of the DMCs take more than one. In fact, the tan very light number 738 takes 3 skeins. So yeah, that's on my list. Then I also had been hemming and hawing over this one. I saw the gals at Cornhusker State Stitchers were working on this, or one very similar to it. And I fell in love with it, so I bought it. It's All American by Primrose Cottage Stitchers. And they did it, the one they did on a fabric flare fabric that was printed with a sort of washed out Americana look. I don't know if I'm going to do it on that. I haven't decided yet, but again, I just love it. It's DMC except for Louisiana Hot Sauce by Weeks Dye Works, and the called for is Vintage Country Mocha, 25 count as well, but I don't know. I haven't decided that yet. So that's on my list. Then I got in the mail my November month to month by Stitching with the Housewives. I get these, I'm in the club from Fat Quarter Shop, and it's an auto mail thing. I just love this one with the barn and the falling leaves, and again the rich fall reds and golds. And in the club they send you the classic color works as well. So it uses black coffee, cherry cobbler, fallen leaves, honeycomb, and trail dust. So they are wonderfully, wonderfully rich colors. I don't know if you can see them through the plastic, but they're lovely. I love them. I haven't even finished August yet, and I already have September, October, and November. I have all of their series from last year, the crate series. Haven't done anything with them. No. I'll get there. Like I said, I need about 6 dozen more lives to get everything done. The one child I talked with today, she said, Mom, everybody dies with a to-do list. Well, you know what? My to-do list is enough to wrap around the moon 3 times. I fell in love with these. This is Praiseworthy Stitches Simple Gifts Piece Quaker Sampler. And the colors, it's only 2 colors. It's Gentle Arts Blackberry Jam and Weeks, how do you pronounce it? Schneckly. So it's like a goldish color. And then the black raspberry jam. It shows up on purple on the video, but it's more, or blue on the video, but it's more of a purpley blue. So that one is there, and I didn't realize that they were part of the same series until I got them. But I also have Simple Gifts Grace, and these are all purples, lilac, Peoria purple, and Merlin. Weeks Dye Works. But my word the past 2 years that I'm trying to live by is grace. It's taken me a long time in my life to get to the point where I can give myself grace. And because we are human and we all make mistakes, and it's okay. And it's taken me quite a while to get to the point where I can give myself grace. And I try to give others grace as I can, especially when it comes to working with 13 and 14-year-olds, that, you know, you never know what some of these kids are dealing with. Food insecurity, parental insecurity, home insecurity. So grace is very, very important. Especially the last couple of years. So anyway, that's on my list of things to do. And I had another one. But, oh, here we go. Is this them? Oh, yeah, see? You can tell I shopped more than I did anything. So I don't know if I showed this to you, but I got Blackbird Frock Tour by Plum Street Samplers. Frock Tour is a Pennsylvania German paper cutting, paper craft. And I bought this with the intent of making it for my mother-in-law, and then my mother-in-law saw it and she said, oh, that's cool. So Kismet. And I bought Autumn Love by Lori Holtz. There goes my autumn kick again. So this will probably be about the 6th in line of her designs that I need to do, 6th or 7th. But I'm doing it on 25 count barley, Lori Holt barley. So, and it's all DMC. So that's on my list. And years ago in the 80s, I had started collecting Told in a Garden, and then I sold them all when I stopped cross-stitching. But I found this one at a very reasonable price, and so I bought it. Blackberry Jam. It combines my love of cross-stitch and my quilts. And one of these days, I'm going to do a log cabin quilt. So that one's on the list. And I got this one. This is Cathcart Calhoun, something, 1785. By Shakespeare's, I can't say his name, Shakespeare's Peddler. And I love the colors. In fact, I love the colors so much that I bought this twice. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but we'll see. So anyway, that's what I've purchased, and that's what I've stitched, and yeah. Oops, what did I just do? So my goal this weekend, while my boys are off camping, is I want to try and get as much done as I can. I'm working on a project bag just because I felt like working on a project bag, using these little squares of Nantucket Summer. They're 2.5 pre-cut squares, mini charm pack. I'm not a big blue person, but there's something about these fabrics that I fell in love with, and for some reason I have it in my head that I would love to have a house. And see, the weird thing is I'm not a beach person either, but I would love to have a house on the beach that is like white beadboard or white clapboard, or what clapboard, whatever you want to call it, with the blue and the light blue and the ticking, and yeah. So, you know, I bought a fat quarter bundle of this, and I bought some more fat quarters of this, and I bought these mini charm packs and a charm pack and 2 gel. I mean, you name it, I bought it. I love it. So I'm working on a project bag using these. It's not quite done yet. So that's really all I have. And I know it's short, and I do apologize, but you know, I appreciate everyone's comments. Sometimes I'll read a comment and I'll just laugh out loud. And when I get a comment that says, "Oh my gosh, I was getting, you know, I was worried about you because I hadn't seen you," and that meant so much to my heart, that there are people out there that enjoy this peek into my life and my crazy, weird sense of humor, and you know, they like seeing what I do. So that's about where we are. And so we do need to take care of this giveaway. This was the giveaway from 2 weeks ago. It was donated by a subscriber, and I do apologize. I cannot remember your name right now. Catching this cold and everything, it just, my brain is not operating on all 8 cylinders today. But I do greatly appreciate it. And so you were to use the word bloom in a sentence. And the winter is the winter. It's time to get something warm to drink. The winner is Glee Hansen. I love that name, Glee. Makes me want to sing. All right. So, Glee, please do me a favor. Email me with your address so that I can pop this in the mail to you. My email link is down below. It is also, there's a link up in my banner. So drop me an email and I will get this out to you this week. Well, actually, I will tell my husband to get it out to you this week. He's my mail boy because, yeah, I'm stuck at school all day. So I hope you enjoy this. I cannot wait for you to show us that it's done. I would love to see it when it's done. And, you know, there's also other tiny towns that you can get. You know, looking on the back, there's the big-hearted tiny town and the patriotic tiny town. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that done. So, let's do another giveaway. Because we can. So this week our giveaway is Lori Holt Stitch Card Set A. I think she's up to like Stitch Card Set K or something like that now. But these are really cool because they're all the same size. They're all like 24 by 24 stitches. And you can make little pillows out of these. You could make little ornaments out of these. You could stitch all 4 of them and make a pillow. You could stitch them in a line and create something. So this is going to be our giveaway this week. And I would like you to use the word basket, B-A-S-K-E-T, in a sentence. All right. So please make sure that you are 18 or older so that I can legally ask for your address. Make sure that you use the word basket in a sentence. Please give me a thumbs up so I know you're liking what you see. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, because that would be awesome. And so with that said, I hope that all of you are having a wonderful week and enjoying this cooler weather. Those of you in Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, our prayers are with you. Those of you in Florida, batten down the hatches, and our thoughts are with you. And we will see you in a couple of weeks. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.